Tonight, they're going to give a brief overview of some of the emergency preparedness that we do in the county. Chris Jensen's here he's the program coordinator of Fire and Emergency Services in Rockland County, and Police Officer Mike Yanazone is our chairman of our OEM for the town, and they're going to give you a brief overview of some of the things they do, all hazards response, including some CSX info.
Chief, thank you very much.
Okay.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Chief Butterworth, for the introduction. I'm simply here tonight by request to offer some assurance to our residents with regard to response capabilities to incidents along the railway corridor here in Orangetown, as well as other related emergencies. Certainly, the request was emanating from the events of East Palestine, Ohio, and some others. So I'm happy to do it and happy to have this opportunity. Just a little bit of brief background and credentials. I've been a police officer with Orangetown for 17 years. I was assigned to the Special Services Division in 2019 and have been involved with emergency and resource management for our department, as well as the emergency management coordinator for the town as well as the town board appointed chair of the emergency management committee. On my side job, I'm a volunteer firefighter for Spark Hill Palisades Fire District. I've been doing that for 22 years, having served as chief of department, or as a chief officer rather, for 12 years, and 8 of those as chief of department. I've had the opportunity to have extensive incident command level training, as well as other leadership and coordination related courses as they pertain to incident command, including hazardous material incident command and operations level training. Here with me tonight, as the chief indicated, is Chris Jensen from the Office of Fire and Emergency Services for Rockland County. He's been an invaluable resource for me, and more importantly for the town and the residents of this county for logistical support and response to emergent incidents as they occur, as well as preparedness and training at the county level. I say that because we're fortunate to have many individuals in this town with similar credentials and/or levels of training across the spectrum of primary response to emergency incidents. The Emergency Management Committee meets monthly and includes supervisory members of our respective town departments, as well as representatives from our local ambulance corps and the Orangetown Fire Chiefs Council as well. We have a functioning town emergency operations center. We meet monthly with the committee to do tabletop exercises throughout the year, and as well as activations when necessary during emergencies. We conduct we participate in functional exercises with CSX annually, tabletops including police, fire, EMS, highway, utilities, other pertinent agencies such as the CSX police, environmental conservation, and agencies of the like. In 2015, there was a full-scale exercise right here in Orangeburg at the Highview Avenue crossing. That involved many agencies working on a collaborative effort under a unified command structure to deal with a simulated incident very similar to the ones that many of us are rightfully so concerned with and making sure we're prepared for. We regularly have after-action reviews. Those take place for any type of large incident, from something like that to even something pre-planned like the St. Patrick's Day Parade every year. We conduct those to identify the pluses, the minuses, any strengths and weaknesses that we have, et cetera, and we do that to enhance preparedness and operations going forward. We have relationships that have been built through collaborative efforts with the CSX police, special agents, and they're on speed dial daily and weekly if needed. So that communication is always readily available. CSX's headquarters is down in Jacksonville, Florida. We have had CSX railway incidents over the years, anything from a broken crossing gate to something a little bit elevated from that, but thankfully nothing hazardous materials related, at least not since I've been here. And they're literally a phone call away. They take action as needed to do what they need to do for the trains that are operating to and from our area, and we respond accordingly. Other agencies like Veolia Water, they have the capability to enhance our water supply to the railway corridor. The drafting sites that are identified, and I'll go over some of that in a minute. We also, as a town, have sheltering agreements with the South Orangetown School District and the Pearl River School District. We have open dialogue with their staff as well as with the staff of local colleges that in the event of an incident where mass evacuation for whatever reason is probable or needed, we have those plans in place to have room to accommodate people that may just for a short period of time be displaced as we deal with the incident as it's unfolding. We also have a Red Cross trailer that is staged here in the town of Orangetown with needed supplies that could at least get something like that going. Rockland County has something known as the Access and Functional Needs Registry. That is an online registry that anybody can sign up for, which identifies people, homes, and facilities that are in need of assistance should an evacuation be warranted. That's also advantageous for any other reasons as well, for people in need, welfare checks, things of that sort during a crisis or otherwise. We have reverse 911 systems in place at the county level, as well as something called IPAWS, which stands for Integrated Public Alert and Warning System. That's put on through FEMA. We also have New York Alert, as well for information sharing and notifications, as well as other public communications here at the local level, such as social media outlets, et cetera. County level capabilities of the IPAWS system is active and current, and on the town level, we're actively looking to do that as well. It requires compliance, including monthly tests of the program, et cetera, but certainly something that's doable. CSX fortunately puts out a lot of resource references for first responders. They have booklets here, emergency response to railroad incidents. They also have a community awareness emergency planning guide that we can use as reference, as training material to better prepare us for some type of response if it is needed. We also have something in the technology age, something called Ask Rail. It is an app. It's an app that designated individuals from an emergency response agency can download on their phones, register, and should there be an incident involving a train, information can be put into this app, and everything about that train, the specific cars, chemicals, et cetera, are literally at your fingertips, along with guidance on how to respond, given whether it's a fire, a spill, a gaseous release, et cetera. So there's a lot of tools in the toolbox that have evolved over the years that have really made our response capabilities, that have really enhanced them, made them better for the town, and certainly are always progressing, especially with the training and the exercises we do under Chris's office's assistance. So just a couple quick things I would share with you up on the screen. This is something called a density study. This is put out by CSX. It's a hazardous material density study under New York Homeland Security and Emergency Services. And this is an annual report identifying 2022. And basically it identifies the amount of shipments coming through your town in any given year. So how many loaded shipments, how much hazardous material, the percentage of the shipments that are coming, what percentage of them is what types of material, whether it is a hazardous material, whether it's intermodal products, things of that sort. So, I mean, just something interesting to share just on this page alone. So here's New York in 2022. This is the CSX line in the state of New York. Something that was a big concern and is always on the radar is petroleum-based products coming through our area. And you can see here the petroleum crude oil right there actually accounts for just 1.67% of the carload of total hazmat that comes through the state. That hopefully is a little bit reassuring just as far as the amount of product, given all of the trains that run through the town, the amount of that type of product that is of concern, but is certainly of a lower percentage of stockpile on those trains coming through. So again, this is a report that we are privy to in the emergency response world, if you will, and it helps us again with planning, with preparation, and with the keeping the open communication and dialogue with the CSX agencies as well as the police that are really a true asset and a beneficial resource. This is also something put out. This is a geographic and strategic response plan. It's an interactive map that, again, you could take the CSX corridors. You could zoom in towards our area, whether it be in the Blauvelt, Orangeburg area. And what it identifies is certain infrastructures that are along the railway certain distances away from the railway, east and west, north and south, etc. It identifies firehouses, it identifies schools, gathering points, the actual crossings themselves, and clicking on any one of those icons gives us information there. All right, gives us contact information. So for example, if we had an incident and we had to utilize one of the school district's buildings, contact information, where that building's located, etc. So again, not delving into it in any great length, but this is a resource that truly benefits us in the response world. And I think, Chris, we went through like 2 hours worth a couple of weeks ago just going through this throughout Rockland County and really breaking this down with the Department of Environmental Conservation to really identify any vulnerable points, any points of concern, interest, infrastructure, etc. That's all I really have. I'll turn it over to Mr. Jensen just for some quick comments.
Just very quickly, phenomenal overview by Officer Yanazone, but really from the county's perspective, I would be remiss if I really didn't acknowledge the chief and Mike, because I will tell you, looking at the other towns and villages throughout the county, Orangetown by far is setting the bar in terms of their emergency preparedness efforts here, in terms of rail and other emergencies here. It's very encouraging to see the partnership of the private sector as well as the town agencies, because I do come and attend the monthly meetings here that Officer Yanazone puts together. And there's a lot of good work that's being done by the town departments as well as by some of your partners, the school districts, the colleges, and also Veolia, Orange and Rockland Utilities. So it's all about partnerships, and I think it's important that those partnerships are being built and nurtured here in Rockland, particularly in the town of Orangetown. Mike did not mention, but the county, we have a county hazmat team. And the hazmat team, it's an all-volunteer team that actually is trained and equipped to respond to these type of emergencies and help mitigate these situations. And they too participate in the training evolutions and the planning purposes for the rail corridor. So I said, it's a known hazard here, and we're doing our best to, we can't prevent an accident all the time, but we can prepare how we're going to respond to it. And I think we're putting our best foot forward, as well as the town here. And if God forbid something does happen, I think we'll be in a strong position to respond and ensure the safety of the citizens as well as the emergency responders in the town and the county. So that's pretty much.
Thank you, Chris, and again, thank you, Chief, for giving me the opportunity here. Thank you to the town board members. Again, this is mostly for the public, for assurance that preparedness and training is ongoing, given the concerns, rightfully so. That training is live and always progressing. We're always looking for better ways and new ways to collaborate with each other to make sure that we're ready to respond in an efficient manner for the residents of this town. So thank you for the opportunity.